Our top story tonight is about the Russian president. He is furious and he is promising revenge. The deadly wave of Ukrainian attacks has rattled the Kremlin. Drone strikes deep inside Russian territory, sabotage missions, even attacks on civilian rail lines have angered Putin. And now Russia says peace talks are dead. President Putin has lashed out, calling the strikes acts of terrorism and accusing Ukraine of deliberately targeting civilians. He says Kiev's actions were designed to derail peace negotiations and asks, who negotiates with terrorists, quote unquote? The Russian leader is vowing retaliation and soon. In fact, in a statement, the Kremlin said Russia will strike back as and when its military sees fit. The warning comes just days after Ukraine launched what is being called its boldest cross-border offensive yet. Just to recap that for you, among the attacks were a massive drone raid that hit bomber airfields in Siberia and Russia's far north, a sabotage of rail bridges in southern Syria that killed at least 7 people, and Ukraine's suspected role in the bombing of a passenger train. And on Thursday, the Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov did not hold back. He called Ukraine a terrorist regime and claimed the passenger train attack was sanctioned at the highest level by Ukraine's own leadership. So far, Moscow has not provided evidence and Kiev has not claimed responsibility, but the two sides are making their stance clear. In fact, Ukraine says it struck Russia's deadly Iskander missile systems in Bryansk, weapons that may have been aimed at Kiev. On the ground, the battlefield is only heating up. Russia says it shot down 59 Ukrainian drones across Belgorod, Rostov, and even Moscow. Last night, Russian drones hit Kharkiv, injuring 18 people. In Chernihiv, 5 people were killed, 6 more hospitalized. Russia also claimed new advances in Ukraine's northeast, pushing towards Sumy, located just 30 kilometers from the border. In recent days, Russia claims to have captured villages. In fact, that's the latest coming in at this point. On Tuesday, Russian forces were close enough to launch rocket artillery in the city of Sumy, reportedly killing 4 and injuring 30. Further south and east, Moscow says it has taken more territory, including Dilivka and Zorya near Toretsk. Russian troops are also pressing forward towards Liman and Korakhove, slowly grinding through Ukraine's eastern front. And while the war rages on, the U.S. has been somewhat silent. Only on Wednesday, U.S. President Donald Trump confirmed an over-hour-long phone conversation with Vladimir Putin. He said Putin strongly indicated that Russia will retaliate for the Ukrainian airfield attacks. And Trump called it a good conversation, but admitted it would not lead to peace anytime soon. But what's striking is Donald Trump's tone here. He did not say if he discouraged Putin from attacking Ukraine. Instead, he appeared more focused on cooperating with Russia on Iran's nuclear weapons. He said the two sides are in agreement that Iran must not acquire nuclear weapons. Several reports saying that behind the scenes, Trump advisors say he is frustrated with both Putin and Zelensky. But he reportedly told aides that Zelensky is edging the world towards nuclear war. Trump has so far refused to back tougher sanctions on Russia, and even though he has called Putin absolutely crazy in the past, he now wants to give the Russian leader 2 more weeks to show signs of progress. Progress on what exactly? It has nothing to do with Ukraine. What Trump really wants is a nuclear deal with Iran. And one thing is certain, the war is escalating. Peace talks are crumbling, and Ukraine's bold strikes inside Russian territory have triggered a dangerous new phase in the war, one that could redraw battle lines or erase prospects of peace entirely.